So I'm Lauren.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Izzy. And we're doing the unit circle.
In 3 easy steps.
Okay, so here's a really easy way to do the ordered pairs. So we have all the axes labeled, and we know that x is positive 1 here, y is 0. X is 0 here, y is positive 1. X is negative here, so with negative 1, y is 0. Here, y is negative 1, and x is 0 because it's down. Okay, so to start, what we do is we count to 3. So starting here, we go up on the right side. So 1, 2, and 3. So from there, what we do, we start at the top here, and then we go 1, 2, 3. So now what we do is we divide them all by 2. So the next step is to put on a square root sign unless the numerator is 1. So we put a square root sign on for all of them except for 1. And now I'm going to fill out the rest. So when you fill out the rest, keep in mind for when x and y are negative. Okay, so another thing for the ordered pairs to remember is that it's almost like a reflection. So this point here is reflected to here. So it's the same ordered pair, but you just have to know that the x is negative here, as well as this one here is a reflection to this one, except the x is negative. And same with this one, 1/2 and root 3 over 2 is a reflection to this one, and the x is negative. So another thing is this one is also a reflection to this one, except x and y are negative here. So it's negative 1 over 2 and root 3 over 2, and then negative 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. And this one is a reflection to this one to this one. And then for the bottom, it's also the same way across. So negative root 3 over 2 and negative 1 over 2 is a reflection over here to root 3 over 2, and just the y is negative down here, so negative 1/2, and this one to this one. And then lastly, negative 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2 here to 1 over 2 and negative root 3 over 2. Okay, so just a recap of how to do the ordered pairs. We start here and we go up by 1, 2, 3, and then back down we go 1, 2, 3. Divide them all by 2. And unless it's a 1, we put a square root sign for the numerator. So, for example, over here, the x's are negative, so all the x values are negative. And down here, x and y are negative, so they're both negative. Down here, just y is negative. And up here, they're all positive.
Alright, so the second rule for the unit circle is step 2, and it's the degrees. So leaving or arriving at an axis, so one of these, you add 30 degrees, and all the others you just add 15. So we know here is 0, and then 90, 180, 270, and 360. So from 0, since you're leaving this axis, you're just going to add 30. So that's 30 degrees right there. This would be 45. This would be 60. And then since you're leaving the axes from 90, you're going to add 30. So 120. So just a recap of the degrees. So we labeled all the 4 parts first, and then since we're leaving at the axes, you add 30, and all the others in between, you just add 15. So for example, 0, since you're leaving from the axes, add 30 degrees, so 30. And then 30 plus 15 degrees is 45, since you're not leaving or arriving at any axes. And then from there, you can keep going around the whole unit circle and label all the degrees.
Alright, so this is step 3 of completing the unit circle, and this is radians. So we're going to start here at 0. And the first rule is if you're leaving or arriving at an axis, you're going to add 2. And if you are not, you're just going to add 1. So right here would be 2, 3, 4, 6, is we're going to divide them all by 12, reduce it, and then slap on a pi. So 12. Alright, so for example, we're going to use second point, which is 2 over 12. So type that into your calculator and get the decimal approximation. Then hit math, enter, enter, and that's 1 over 6. And you can just take away the 1 and add a pi sign. So you do that for all the points on the unit circle, and then add on your pi. Alright, so after we're done simplifying it and putting it into a fraction, you get all of these for points of radians, and when you get 1 over something, you can just put pi over that instead, or you can put both. And yeah, so just to recap, when you leave or arrive at an axis, you're gonna add 2. And you're going to go all the way around. After that, you're going to divide everything by 12 and reduce it by using your TI 84. And then put a pi sign on the numerator